how interesting these conversations can go. And that's what we'll be having, or that's what we'll be discussing. So then, yeah, I'm going to leave Victor to continue now, and I'm going to take the mic again from him.
So to start with, I think the easiest thing to do with branding, rebranding is
I don't know, she said you are.
Yes. Okay. So the easiest thing to get mixed up in the conversation around branding or say rebranding is the words themselves, the terms. So but oftentimes because you're like, what exactly is branding? And then you hear another conversation, branding is not a logo, branding is not this. I mean, we've heard enough of that, but then it's still easy to miss and mix a lot of things together. So just putting the terms straight, the brand is the perception of people based on their experience with a thing or product or an individual. So it's like, you can use the word sum total, you can use the word a summation, you can throw in the words, but when I hear about this bank or this telecom, what comes to my mind in 1 second? It would be influenced by a number of several things, based on my experiences with them, based on the things they tell me, based on the things my friends said about them, but that thing, whatever it is the brand. And then what is branding? With ing, and you're simply talking about the process, the intentional process. That's a very important adjective. The intentional process of influencing this brand in the minds of people. So, but then you could as well do without intentional sometimes, because, like Papa would say, when you're telling yourself intentionally about it's totally being built up. So, but then when you take your own charge, when you take charge of the conversation to sit down and say, this is what people would think about us, and then develop and then follow through, that entire process is branding. Now, the identity is like a collection of everything that brings the brand to mind. Obviously, the easiest one, like what comes to your mind when you hear brand identity? Exactly, logo. But then there's some sounds you hear on radio, and you know this is Milo. There's a sound you hear, and you know this is MTN. If you go to an ATM blindfolded, and you hear a song by Asha, what bank are you at? Yeah, that's part of the identity then. You know, sometimes it's with the structure. When you see a bank with pillars, these pillars can look like this. Yes. Yeah. And then, but when the bank looks like it's about to fall, and with glass, it's still back to GT. If you see a red strip, something like that. So brands just find their ways to, you know, the identity, which is basically what agencies like us are called to work on most times. The identity refers to everything, both to design, how they speak, to how they greet you if you call them on the phone. Okay, how about this one? Have a nice day. How do you say that? This bank?
Welcome to First Bank.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, that's the identity. Everything in your mix of the identity.
I mean, let me allow Mary to share too. I mean, so this means that when you have a logo is just the visual representation of the whole feel of the brand. Is that the conversation?
Of course, you're very correct. I remember seeing a movie, and it's interesting. So I think someone was trying to remember something, and the very first thing that the person could remember was the flash of the logo. So the person could recollect that, okay, I saw something, I saw it looked like this, and then that is what we're looking for. So yes, the logo is not really the brand identity, but it is just really one important thing, because everybody, at least for everybody that can see now, one of the most important things that you will take with you when you see anything is most likely a logo, especially if it is visibly put somewhere. So I think that, like you said, the logo is important, but so are other things that you do. So you can be very intentional with everything that you do, from, like Victor said, the way you talk, the way you respond to people. I remember chicken rep. They're always saying this, nice, you will always hear it. I didn't know if anybody listens to it. Yeah.
That's how you know your food is almost ready.
You know, you just hear things, nice things, just chicken this, that, and all that. Everything, you can really work on them. It's very important. I mean, I think that for every opportunity that you have and everything that you can do, you can be very intentional with it.
So we can just agree that the logo is what reminds you of how a brand makes you feel.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Brand is how it makes you
feel.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Interesting. So this means that because one of the major things I feel a lot of brands really do not take into cognizance is the fact that, especially during Rebrand, which is one of the things we're going to mention, is that the whole identity does not make almost any sense if it does not embody an essence that you represent, right? So if we give you a logo that makes you solid, that makes people want to trust you, or we use a blue that makes people feel comfortable around you, or we use a white that makes people a lot more active around how you engage them, and that is not how you represent yourself or exude in your expression, there's a conflict. And more often than not, some of our most important decisions were made at subconscious level. We just did not know why we didn't like you, but we really don't like you. And it may just be a disconnect in how you express. So your mind just protects you. You know when we say gut feeling, how gut feeling protects you from some things without you necessarily engaging them. So the brand just comes to you as this, and you now get to engage them, they are not that. Now there's a big disconnect and people cannot experience you, right?
I wanted to ask how many designers we have here, because most times I think most designers know about these things. So can I see our hands? How many designers do we have here? More than this.
No, I like the percentage.
Yes.
That we have more non-designers than
great. Because this conversation is important for the entire set of organizations. Talking about embodying essence. The best example without argument in the world is Nike. And then that's why communication, for example, every day, even with Kobe Bryant's death, the reaction to it, with the story of Ronaldo, Nike continues to help you see them as representing your capacity to do anything. And then so when you see the logo on the Nike swoosh, you almost feel like now I can do this thing. And that's really what the essence, same for Coke. You know, open happiness. And then if you have a bored afternoon and you hear that sound, the sound when you open, which that sound in itself is intentional. Right? And then it reminds you that I'm about to drink happiness. I'm going to be happy now. And it's real. I'm going to be strong. Red Bull gives you what? Wings. Exactly.
You see everybody remember. I mean, this is so interesting that there was a research that was done that it was about a bicycle brand, right? And no, it was about Neil Armstrong. And so because this person respected the Neil Armstrong brand before the whole issue about the doping happened, the rider, anytime he wore anything that was a swag from Neil Armstrong, he just felt that he could do anything. And it's the same thing with, I've never worn Puma before. In any way, Puma trainers, you feel like you should be running everywhere. That feeling just comes in. So rebranding. So we have spoken about what the brand is, we've spoken about embodying it. Now rebranding. Actions to change perception. So let me leave it.
So I think really it's like you understand naming, like this is your name. So when you talk about renaming, it means you're sitting down to change what your name is. Having gone through what the brand is, let me give you a classic example of rebranding, and we won't need any other definition. As at 2015, when the President Buhari was elected, or I think towards that election or right after the election, there was this declaration of assets which showed that he used Union Bank. He uses Union Bank. The Union Bank Twitter handle did retweet it, or in fact made an ad about it to say something like, oh, the president or something. which fed more into exactly what we all thought about them.
Yeah.
My grandfather's bank.
Yeah. Yep.
And then a 70-year-old president says, and then you guys like, oh, sorry, which is good, which was really true to their brand indeed. But then 2018, well, I think so, 17 or 18. They sat down, whatever, I wasn't there, but I'm imagining that they sat down and I said, okay, this is not paying us. We no longer want to be your grandfather's bank, we want to be your bank. And then it's such a dramatic transformation for me because when I was speaking at Tech Point last year, no, at Tech Fest, I think the Tech Fest by Diamond Bank. No, it was Tech Point. The Tech Point event here was sponsored by Junior Bank. The first thing I said when I entered, I saw that I told someone beside me, I said, 4 years ago, Junior Bank will be sponsoring a pensioners conference. Yeah, because that's what really did fit into the brand. So the rebrand is like saying, this is who we have been. It starts with an audit. It starts with a proper understanding of our journey, what we have been known for or known to be. And then we want to change it. We want to appear differently. So it's good to change the look so that people cannot notice that something has changed. But if the look alone is different and nothing has changed in how you communicate, in the products you offer, in how you dress, in how everything, like nothing, you have not really rebranded. Maybe you've been touched, maybe they can refresh, you know? So Unibank is the classic example because now Unibank kind of vibes along the side. Guess what they did again? Saw EFCC's Twitter handler with all of his vibes and like, oh, okay, this guy, if you did this name for EFCC, this guy then got him. Kingfisher. Yeah, I don't know how that has gone over time. I don't know if it's still watching it.
I would love to
share too. So, like a classic example of the Centric brand.
Well, you used, you said Union Bank. Maybe I should go to, what do you call it now? This Polaris. That rebrand. How many of us remember Skybank? So he talked about one that was well done. I'm talking about one that. Okay, so I remember 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago now? And then all the Polaris banks had the signboard in purple. Do you remember? And then there would be that strip. I think we can go to that. There's a page like that. Yeah, it's really, really down.
No, that's not. If we are going down, people will be seeing export.
Okay, but then you can remember that there's this blue strip on those buildings, and then there would be the gray color of the whole building. But then there's the new logo on it, so it feels like something is not connecting. I think it was Opa was saying it. How that branding is really affects the subconscious, you know. So the moment I see that you guys have changed your logo, you changed everything, and then I'm still seeing one element from the old thing, I feel disconnected somehow. So I feel like, can you guys really be true to yourselves? Can you say, can you tell me what you guys are trying to do? What are you trying to say? So I think that, like Victor has said, everything has to really be intentional. If you make that decision that you're going to change people's perception about a thing, then you should work towards it in every way. So from the buildings to everything, it's going to be a whole lot of work, but then you have to be prepared for it.
I mean, another interesting example for me was, how many of you know that GT Bank rebranded? You know that some of us cannot remember the old logo.
Yeah, they did well.
How can we know the old logo?
2007.
And again, I think because we have to also explain that rebrand can be based on experiences, right? Because we can trace the bank's resurgence to the 737 and GT Great period.
Yeah.
So there was no logo rebrand, but there was an experiential rebrand. Right? So that goes ahead to say that sometimes a rebrand may just be about changing how people experience your brand. Right? So it just came, for the young people here, how many of us had a GT Create account just by virtue of the GT Create account? I mean, they just came and they told us that we could have zero account balance. They told us that they are giving us free MasterCard. And now, those of us that were in school 10 years ago are the ones that have the money. So, no, do we have
I still use my GT credit. Okay, and I get limits.
No, they changed my own for me.
I've not gone to change. So it's just that, talking about brands, guarantee, talking about how you are looking at every element to fix it up. GT Bank used to be Guaranteed Trust Bank, which they still are officially. But that name wasn't going to get along with young people. So like, okay, GT Bank, and it worked. Talking about Polaris, the conversation Mary and I have had is, so there's budget. This whole rebranding thing, budget is a big factor because it's not even about to have a nice new design. How we implementing it. One simple thing we think Polaris could just have done is retain the blue. So if you retain the blue, it means the building, Skybound used to be blue. It means you don't have to repaint the building. You just have to change the signage. But they had a low budget, but they had not so good thinking. And then they changed the signage. And they changed the signage alone. No repainting was done. So you see purple signages on blue buildings.
I cannot. I have, because I'm in charge of comms and I will do crisis for this. I have nothing to say. Yeah. So why fix it if it's not broken? So that's why we're going to now be talking about reasons for rebrand. Because some people just think that you just get tired of your own logo, just rebrand. Or you just look at the company. I feel we need to switch things up. And that's all right. So let's go back to the bad. Okay, the good reasons first. Okay, let's go. So for the first time, we bring the good things first. So I would split it. Mary will start with it's broken, inflexible, or new offerings. Let's just do the good reasons, right? Mary, they say she should do the good reasons. So nice.
Yeah, like a good person. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Right. Okay, so say the image of a company, of an organization is already lopsided. You are trying to connect with what exactly you're trying to communicate to people. I mean, it's broken already. So one of the things that we can use to fix things like that, one of the things is to rebrand. So first, the image, but then it's not really about say you've done some. Let me not go into bad reasons, but then say there is just some disconnect. So look at the way the brand is being expressed, say visually, whatever, auditory expressions and all, and you feel like these things are not working again. I mean, it's a very good reason. So of course, it means that what you're trying to do is to be very intentional to fix those things that are really broken. You don't just fix the image and imagine that those other things will come after the image. I think that rebranding is really a process. So it's not just a fix that you just end. It's really iterative. Yeah. Then we said, yeah, it's inflexible. Yeah. So say we have new things that we are thinking about in a company, in an organization. We are thinking about how we can serve the young people, like for GT Bank and all of that. I mean, it's a good thing to rebrand. It's a good thing to change people's perception about it. So for instance, say you started to, you want to bring in a new offering. You want to add something of value to your customers. Now, the first thing that most people would do is to pay a digital marketer or something to do the job, to say, okay, we want to do this and all of that. But sometimes the offering is not appealing, maybe because of the perception that people have about the brand already. So you need to find more ways, new ways to appeal to the people that you're trying to reach out to. So sometimes you can use a rebrand, sometimes. Then say, how many people can, I'm trying to look for an example of a merger now. Oh yeah, Access Diamond. I mean, it was a good opportunity to rebrand. So a lot of things, and I still feel that there's a lot of things that are still coming up with, because I think that rebrand was really subtle. You know, they found a way to try to maintain the colors, try to maintain the structure, try to find a balance point, you know, so that people would not be so uncomfortable. Actually, a lot of designers are uncomfortable with it, you know, but then for the bank, they have more offices now, and then they didn't have so much cost to incur by rebranding. So I think when a merger comes up, it's a good opportunity to rebrand, of course. So sometimes, yeah, it's a good reason to rebrand. So sometimes the brand will change the name, maybe because one of the names or one of the brands has a very good reputation, the other one has bad reputation and all. So we're trying to find the balance. So once a merger comes up, the first thing that you're looking at is the middle point. How can we access our customers? How can we let them know that we're working to become better for you guys? So it's really a good reason to rebrand.
I mean, interestingly, right? Just add, now it is so you can go to a formal or normal access bank, right? And you still feel access bank. And you can go to a diamond bank and you still not feel so out of place, right? So there's that, and they now used a lot of subtle nudging to let people know that this thing we are not fighting, because that's one of the most interesting part about that rebrand was due to the fact that it was even a delicate one, and if people felt that something was happening to the bank, there would have been like a massive pullout. So there was like, from God now bless them, there was a run during that period. The two CEOs ran together. So you guys, so rebrand is not just change of like expense and all. It's like helping the people you are serving experience the flow, right? So that's why we say customer-centric rebrand. So I mean, so you care so much about the people you were serving, either for selfish reasons or not, but you still care about them. Okay, they have the money, which is very important. So that's not even selfish. It's business-wise. So bad reasons, bad cop.
Now, so I want to start with the last one, and which is the one that pisses me off, which is you have a new sheriff in town. And then how are we going to let the world know? If you don't give them, if you don't give it to them, how will they take it?
Guardian.
But I like the sentiment.
Yeah.
Because it gives us money. Yes. It's good, I'm just saying. So yeah, if with every new CEO they want to rebrand and they talk to Fort Canvas, then of course we're good with it, yeah? Are we? But for the sake, like for this conversation and the best examples, it's not to say that every brand that rebrands with a new CEO is wrong, but if it's a new CEO championing a new course, a new dimension for the organization, then the rebrand is right. But we're still the same thing, going the same paths, working fine with our customers, like everything is working well, and it is not broken on the good reasons. It is flexible. Nothing has changed. Why rebrand? You know. So new CEOs like what I personally like to talk about first bad reason, but let's go back to number one now. It's trending. So it's something that's happening right now globally. For designers to understand this, every brand is changing from serif-based logo to sans serif. I don't know how to pronounce this company. I'm not even going to lie. YVES Saint Laurent. How do you pronounce the first one? Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't pronounce it. But I love the logo, the old one. This very unique look. It's the only logo in the world that looks like that. But then they went to a sans serif font that has no identity, that looks like every other one. Well, they have a case because now what most brands are doing now is the logo changes to a simple one, but the visual identity has some differentiating elements. So I'm not outrightly saying it's a bad rebrand, but I'm saying I hope they had more reasons than the fact that every company was doing it. Just saying. Because I've learned, we understand now that if you're not in the room, you cannot understand the real reasons for some rebrand. So we can't just pick it from outside and say this. Cover up. So when you rebrand to cover up a deeper mess in your organization, there's a problem, especially when you're not attacking that problem in itself. Uber had a bit of that. I think they did really attack the issue itself when they had this sexual scandal internally. And so sometimes when you use the rebrand to distract us from the real issues without actually dealing with the main issues, then we will know. We can see through it. You announce a new logo, we're like, thank you. Can we go back to this issue? Lastly, publicity. Well, you can't keep changing your logo every 2 years to get new publicity, can you? You know, so you should be looking at best ideas for campaigns to gain publicity. Of course, a rebrand will get you good publicity, but it shouldn't be like the main motivation for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Why it won't work?
Okay, I think I should just this is like part of bad things. So the reasons already communicated is part of why a rebrand might not succeed. The next is poor communication. So I've had cases where I see a new launch of a rebrand. I'm like, what's this? Like, that's my first reaction. But then I go to read the release on that post, and that's what Centric now does for us now. Once there's a rebrand, Centric will first and get us all the materials, all the information that we can find about it. Because when you now read through, sometimes you now see that, okay, you can understand why this was done. But then not all rebrands follow that process. You don't know why it was changed, so you create your own story, like Papa would say, and then it affects even people. Have you seen a rebrand where staff of the organization don't like it? They're like, they, for instance, I use they for the board.
Pardon my Yoruba or Galoshi.
They said this is our new, that's the reaction, because people don't even understand. Then so when we're talking about customers, if the staff and the employees, please, let's talk about stakeholders. Not this slide. Key stakeholders for a rebrand is the team, the customer, and we're talking about customer centric now. These are key stakeholders. It's beyond the owners of a rebrand, because the substance of a rebrand doesn't lie in the minds of the owners. Then lastly is poor research. We're going to talk about the gap rebrand. There's one we didn't feature here. British Airways once did a rebrand. They usually would have, talking about rebrands, this was not a logo change. They have the flag, the British flag on the tail of the aeroplanes, Thank you. Yeah, and then they wanted a more global look, and then they created patterns from across the world. The kind of project that Mary would have loved. That's colors. Something. I mean, Mary is the best pattern creator here. And then they created new patterns inspired by cultures, like beautiful story. In this case, good communication, good intentions, but poor research.
Away from the fact that it gives an opportunity to win a lot of things, it also helps you make a lot of money. Because if you keep your customers happy, your business is happy. I mean, the only way your business is happy is that money is still coming in.
Now, please, permit me to get petty. I'm going to get petty. Yes, this should not be done, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring an argument between Okoye and I on stage. Okoye says it is customer-centric rebrand. I say it is customer-centric rebrand. Which one is right? So which one is a bad asset?
Yeah. What do people think about it now? Brand patent. Yeah. So research in itself does not only happen like before the rebrand; it also happens after the rebrand, right? Because you also have. I know you thought about it, right? When you did it, right? I know you thought about it, but afterwards, can you gauge the influence and impact of the change on your customers, right? Can you gauge the influence and change on the people you wanted to serve? So it's also a very, 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 very important one. I mean, the next slide which Mary is going to explain about the Netflix story is going to like carefully explain this point. I don't even know, maybe a lot of people here have heard about Quick Start. If you've heard about Quick Start, let me see your hands up. Quick Start. Okay, so just one person in the hall. Mary, inform us.
Right. So Netflix had a new CEO in the company again. New CEO, new sheriff in town. Yeah. So they said this is what we do. We have a live streaming service, and then we have a DVD mailing thing. So what they do is to mail DVDs of movies and all of that. So he said, you know what? Let's rebrand what this is and make the one that is online to be Quick Start.
Yeah.
So we did so many things, but this is the most memorable part. This is what people remember, this is what the clients remember. And this is the logo. We agreed in the session to not make a drastic change of the identity, right?
It's a financial brand, so
exactly.
Just move on.
There's the gaining of trust, which is a gradual. People, I will wear a piggy vest shirt in a car in the text, and the driver will be like, "Hey, this piggy vest, are they real? Yeah.
So what?
They are really like that. The money will not go." So there's the increasing trust gaining journey that to now change the entire look makes it a lot, it makes it a bit worse. So we're staying with the look. When you see it, you can identify it. But what can we change? So we discovered that the previous logo was it was a padlock, right? So you have a padlock, then you have a keyhole again, like two different things that represent being locked up. So we're like, okay, save, yeah? But who are you saving this money for? It's for people. They're trying to secure what? Their future. They're putting themselves first and then using the platform to secure their money for growth. So I had this conversation with them to say, you know what? There's a change in this visual that can make this same thing better, more friendly. So we changed this keyhole to an human shape. And that is the most central part of the entire identity. Who saw that? I'm not from him. You saw it? That's what I say. So you should get a gift too.
The best mood was when she shouted, "Oh, that." You can see something else. You can also see something else.
The first one actually looked like something that was done in a very huge hurry. But if you look close at the second one, I didn't just see a keyhole or a padlock. I saw an umbrella inside the padlock, like kind of like shielding.
Please give me the gift. Is it because Ray fell this morning? It's just going to be like the last thought. Counts the cost, right? The brand and the stakeholders alike, right? He already shared a few part of this. Let me leave this to be our final words before the question and answer. So in 60 seconds, then in 60 seconds, then question and answer. I know you have questions, right? Do you have questions? No, not really. It's just short. My God. It was clear and straight to the point. We deserve a raise. It's you now.
Okay, great. So I think we've 60 seconds. So I think in the earlier parts of my career as a designer, I wanted everybody to rebrand. Everybody should rebrand.
For the sake of the money.
This money is important. Why should you not want to rebrand?
Yeah.
Let it be final. Let the meeting just be final. But today, sometimes you can talk to me and I'm like,
it's important.
The brand you actually need. You actually don't have to change this. Count the costs. The rebrand comes with a lot of immense benefits, but you should be doing it for the right reasons. It should really represent a real change that you can communicate and stand by. Because implementation is not only about the cost of paying the agency or the designer, the actual implementation is another thing. And if you're not ready to go all out and spend the money to make the proper rebrand, what you should be doing is maybe a refresh. Like we said, if Polaris had gone with the same color but a different, it would have been better. Their low budget would not have screamed low budget. So, and stakeholders, you have to consider the people who this is most affected by. Watford FC wanted to change their logo. They did it by talking about it first. They wanted people to bring entries. That's not the best way to rebrand, but they wanted to do that. And then the backlash was so high that they suspended it. The fans said, no, we want it like this. Juventus did the same thing. Football is like one of the brands where people are most attached to. Yes. Juventus changed their brand. A lot of fans are angry, but it was better managed because they communicated the bigger benefits for Juventus as an organization. This is your lifestyle and football being brought together. We want to be more. They really did a good job. And then they brought Still Ronaldo the following season. And then the bigger picture is new. I'm just moved on. So you're not able to go all the way. Just stay with it.
Mary, I don't think you want to preach to.
I feel like has really, really trashed this whole point. So there's a next picture here. Yeah, this one was what I was talking about earlier. That when you're thinking of a rebrand, most of the times I think it's safer. People are more used to doing things softly. But then if you're going to do complete overhaul, you must be ready. It's a lot of work. I mean, imagine that you're changing messaging, you're changing everything. It's a whole lot of work. And I also think that you won't start the process, you won't even start giving out everything at the same time. You know, you allow it to grow on people. It really, really takes time. And another thing is that to do the complete overhaul, actually, to change everything is so tough. We're talking about people that have had the former logo, they've had the former designs, they are used to it. So before you can change their minds, it's a lot of work. I mean, you've gone to say Google to look for some logos, and then you still see the old logo, and then you are confused. Okay, so where are we now? It's to tell you that there's a lot of work. So before you can say, okay, you know what, a rebrand is the best thing that we have to do. You must be ready to say what, to do what, to really go all out. So you're trying to make sure that when you're changing people's minds, you're also changing all the assets. It is very tough. I think it's not so tough if the business is not so big. But then when the business is big, you have different branches across the country. It is a lot of work.
At least think twice if people have already tattooed your logo on their chest. Hold your mic, hold your mic.
I mean, right, for me, finding work how did you get there? Right? A very important part of Rebrand is that you help people experience the journey. Right? Because a lot of people make it sudden. And when you make it sudden, we all think we like change, but we react negatively to change at first chance. We want change, we really, really want it. But when something changes, at first experience, we react negatively, right? Instagram logo.
First time they changed it, I hated it.
Now, do you like it?
No, sometimes these things just grow.
It's funny that sometimes we kick against things that we really need. So, Slack. I don't use Slack so much anymore.
I like Slack.
But then I like it. It's really sweet. Everything, the shape and everything. I think that, like she was saying, it's very, very, very important to. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what he said.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. So it's crazy that sometimes, like he said, change is hard. People say we want it, but they don't really want it. Or they want it, but they want you to feed. They want you to feed them little by little. So you have to master the craft of converting people, of taking people.
It's a journey.
Yeah. So it's really iterative. It's a long. I mean, I feel like it happens over time. You can stretch it for as long as you want to. It's safer to stretch.
And sometimes that's why it's also very, very important. This is going to be like the last of 5 questions that you take a deep thoughts on your timeline and your journey. Because if you change suddenly based on trend, if you change suddenly based on a feeling, you would not always feel that way.
Yeah.
You would not always feel that way. But if you change based on understanding of the people you want to serve, based on data, based on experience, and based on the focus of your company on the long run, it is easy because as your company continues to evolve and is flexible, your logo can stay, but expressions can change.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just very important that you have something that is agile enough to accommodate. It's just important that you have something that is agile enough to accommodate your growth.
Yeah, okay. There was something that happened some 2 years ago to me. So I was about to take
questions now.
Yeah, I was about to take a color course, and then they said, "What color would you like to paint your room?" And then I was just on a sugar rush that day. I was like, orange in my mind. I just said orange, and I picked it like that. Then the next question asked was that, So, is this your room? I'm like, yeah, it's my room. So, in 2 weeks' time, are you sure you're going to like orange? And I sat back, I was like, okay, I think orange is too bright for me.
Yeah,
So I think that a lot of times too, like Okwe was trying to say, we cannot make some decisions based on how you are feeling right now, because you can't be so sure that you're going to feel like that, or it's going to sit down well with you like that.
So questions. Any question?